Hello, I'm Joelle, and I am 6 months post a layoff, post corporate America, 6 months of being unemployed. And I am thriving. I am thriving, and I'm so excited. And I want to share with you guys some of the things that I did to prepare for a layoff that is helping me thrive. Like, I think the biggest reason why I am thriving is because I prepared for this season. I prepared for this season and did not even know that I was preparing for such a season as being laid off, and more so such a season of being like removed from corporate America so early. Before I was laid off, I was actually not necessarily preparing for a layoff, but I was preparing for early retirement. You know, the intent was to decide on my terms when I thought I was ready, but also a reminder that sometimes our terms and our times when we think we're ready is really just not aligned with God's timing. And so there is no doubt that I am in this season of layoff, early retirement, or whatever I may think to call it, because of divine times. But let's get into how I can help you guys prepare for a layoff, how to thrive if your employment is interrupted abruptly, if you become unemployed unexpectedly. So the biggest thing for me is that for the last couple of years that I worked, I was able to live off of 50% of my income. And at one point, I wasn't even living off of 50%. I had probably got it down to like 30%. And so that's what I encourage you guys to do as you prepare for whatever the season is, even if it's to have like some FU money, because it may be a time where you're like, I just got to get out this. I just got to get out. I got to go. And how do I do it? I don't have the finances. So living off of 50% of your money or less is game changer. And I know it's hard, but we can do hard things. And your future self will thank you, because the things that I did years ago, I'm living off of that. I'm reaping the harvest. I am truly reaping the harvest from the seeds that I planted, a few years ago. And after you learn to live off of 50% of your income, what you want to do is open an IRA Roth account and begin investing. And you want to go the Roth IRA account. In that space, you are investing money that you've already paid taxes on, and then you don't have to pay taxes on the income that you earn from investing. So that is game changer in itself. And I know there are a lot of people that talk about it and things like that, but I'm living proof. Do it, and then when you reach a point when you can't invest in your Roth IRA, then just have a separate brokerage account and do it. But you have to have some type of control of the money you earn. And it's like, people are like, well, I don't have time to read stocks and stuff like that. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? Because when I didn't understand reading stock charts, and I didn't understand anything, but what I did know is that I was curious about making another income. And so what I did was, my first stock that I ever purchased outside my 401k was actually Lululemon. So I, for whatever reason, was a Lululemon girl, still a Lululemon girl. I was like, I'm not going to give them any more money, not this paycheck. And I decided I purchased some Lululemon stock. And that stock, I purchased that pre-pandemic. The way I saw it go up, I don't even think I paid $200. And it went up to like $500, so that was a good investment for me. When I did it, I only bought 2 shares. So very amateur, did not know what I was doing. But when I got real serious about early retirement, I learned about VOO, the ticker symbol VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500. And I learned about VTI, which is Vanguard's total stock market. So I learned about those, and at first I was investing, I think, only in VTI because VTI was cheaper. And then I started investing in VOO. And then, you know, I would do that. And so right now I've invested in both of those, and I kind of use those like as a place where I just want to sit some money safely. And in the last couple of years, like I think last year was like a 23% return on your investment. Well, if I had my money just sitting in my bank account, I'm not getting that much. Like even the high yielding savings accounts, I think they were at like 3% or 4%. So for me, I began to lock my money up in the stock market. That 50% that's what I talked about that I was living off of. So I get paid, and it's like, all right, I have some money that I'm living off of, and then I was putting that other money, I was investing that other money. And then what was the most game changer for me, after I got comfortable with doing that and I got in routine, like maxing out my Roth IRA, then I was like, okay, this is fun, and I'm maxing out my IRA. I still have some money. What else am I gonna do? And so then I had like another brokerage account, and I started back to investing in brands that I like, the products that I use, and watching the S&P 500. Like, what are the top stock markets they're investing in? What are the top stocks that the S&P 500 is investing in? What are the top stocks in the VTI portfolio? So looking at those and seeing like which companies can I jump into. And so that's all I did. Like I didn't do no hard labor work. I looked at the companies they were investing in. I was like, okay, let me start investing in them as individuals and see what happens. And I did that, and actually some of those were like outperforming the S&P 500 and the total stock market. So I started doing that. And then the other thing that was actually, game changer and a little risky, but life is about taking risk, and we all know scared money don't make no money. I learned to trade options, took some courses, and joined different communities and learned it and had all this knowledge, and I never made a move. I just invested in these courses, never made a move, scared. And then finally I was like, all right, let me do some paper trading. So I did some paper trading. I was like, oh, if I would have invested real money, I could have made this, that, and third. There was also times when I was like, oh, I'm glad I was in a paper trade, because that was a bad trade and it went down. So I got comfortable paper trading, and from paper trading, I actually started trading options. And that's very risky. And so that's why you need to have like a small fraction of the money that you'll invest in there. But I started doing that. And so that's how I prepared for early retirement, this layoff season. And that's what I'm continuing to do now. And so if you could live off 50% of your income, then from there, that other 50%, really what you want to do is, so you take the 50% that you're going to invest, then you look at that like 100%. So then 80%, you want to put those in investing in the stock market, which is safe, whether you want to do ETFs or individual stocks. And then that 20%, or maybe you want to start off with like 10%. That 10%, you can try to trade options, or you can make it 20%. Whatever you feel comfortable with, do it. The biggest thing is, don't let someone else have your future in their hands. You have to take control of your future. It's all about being intelligent and learning how to bring in other revenue. So I really felt it on my heart. I had to share how I've been thriving, and I hope that someone else is able to take these tips and thrive. I am not a financial investor. I am not the best in trading. There are a lot of channels that teaches you how to trade and other things. So I will share with you guys some of my favorite channels that I tune into. And I will also drop the links in the description. So the first one is Earn Your Leisure. I watch Market Mondays, and I'm also enrolled in Earn Your Leisure University. The second one is Wallstreet Trapper. I did do his options trading course. And I think at one point I might have been part of some other Trappers Anonymous or something else that he had, but I'm no longer a part of that. But he does something on Tuesday where he talks and he shares things. And he also has a YouTube channel full of information. The other one is Sains, and he updates and shares trading tips and plays, I think almost every day. I don't know, but he does share plays. And he has some things on like how you can actually learn and trade options. So those are good. And then there is this one new girl who she's a female. I cannot think of her name. I don't even want to mess it up. I'm gonna put her information in the description, and then in the next video, I'm gonna call her out because I love shouting out my girls that know how to make money. So I hope that these tips are helpful and it helps you thrive in whatever season you're in, whether you are in the employed season and you are trying to figure out how can I escape the corporate plantation, or how can I put money to the side just in case I need to say F you, or just how can I put money to the side so I can just have extra money so I don't feel like I never can make ends meet. And this information is for the unemployed, because even if you're unemployed, take whatever money you're receiving and learn how to multiply it. That's the name of the game. You got to figure out how to multiply your money, and you also have to not have FOMO. I think actually, you know what? I think that was the biggest thing for me. I don't have FOMO. So if I can't buy it, baby, I'm good. This ain't my season to buy it, you know? So I don't have to buy everything. I'm bigger on experiences versus items. So that's it. I hope you guys, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that you are empowered to take control of your finances as we all thrive to arrive at financial independence, okay?